Hey, you got time for a beer? I know I do. My name's Jake. Welcome to my show. It's Thursday, which means I've got a new beer for you. You can find me at tubajake_69 on Untapped, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. All at tubajake_69. I feel like I said that before. You can also tell me your stories. I like to hear them. Hopefully you like to tell them. I like to tell them. So tell me your stories. People haven't been recently, but I like it when you do. So the beer I've got for you today is Odd Side Sweet Potato Soufflé Rye Ale. It's a rye ale brewed with sweet potatoes and lactose, then aged in rye whiskey barrels with cinnamon and nutmeg. There's a little story on the back here too. The strong ale was brewed with sweet potatoes and lactose, then aged in rye whiskey barrels with cinnamon and nutmeg. Notes of caramel, brown sugar, and sweet potato blend with spice and malt, giving way to lingering smooth finish. Finish. All right, let's see what this is like. My guess is that it's going to be dark-ish, probably a little bit red, because rye tends to sound red to me. I don't know, what else? Sweet potatoes are kind of red too. Kind of, more orange. Darker. Kind of looks viscous. Which, good, because with all the stuff that's in it, it should be, right? With the sweet potato, I'm going to expect a little bit more mouthfeel. With the lactose, I'm going to expect a lot more mouthfeel. So I'm going to expect this to taste like it's probably got marshmallows in it, which wouldn't be too terribly surprising. The sweet potatoes, I'm not positive about how this works, but I know that I've been told from a friend that stuff that's thicker, well, like sweet potatoes, like bananas is what he said, tends to make the product snotty is the best way that he knew how to describe it. His was mead, and it was kegged, and it was banana maple syrup, banana waffles with maple syrup mead, and it was delicious when I had it. Speaking of bananas, oh, I'll tell you that story too, probably. This actually does taste a little bit like bananas. But yams kind of do, if you do the yams and you do they taste a little bit like bananas. Hopefully it's less sludge, slime than what he experienced before. We'll see when I drink the rest of these. It's 11%, so it's heavy. It's dark. It's fruity a little bit. So like one of the three, usually I like them, I like my beers dark, light, and fruity. A little bit of fruit. This is heavy and dark and a little bit of fruit. So, I mean, this is pretty good. You will probably not be able to drink yourself out of being drunk if you're drinking this. It's 11%. That's heavy. Light, heavy, like that. Not light and dark, but hopefully. It's good. I like it. It's sweet, like super sweet. I'd like to say it tastes like sweet potatoes, but mostly it tastes like cinnamon and nutmeg. So if you're looking for something pumpkin spiced, this is pretty much what you're looking for. It's pretty good. The cinnamon is covered with a sweetness, so it's a lot like cinnamon and sugar, which also covers up the alcohol flavor, which is why Fireball is so popular, because, the cinnamon taste covers up the alcohol taste, and then you get wasted. Not that I may have had Fireball one time, because I'm not a super big cinnamon fan, but it's okay if it's adding to, but if it's the main flavor, it's not my thing. It's really weird. It's like I don't know, there's a weediness to it almost. Like if you were eating like a pumpkin bread, let's say, it might taste like this. Especially if somebody used rye whiskey and like dumped that over it like a fruitcake kind of thing. It's it's interesting. Very nice lacing on this guy too. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but wow. If you're looking for lacing, this one's got it. I do also tend to like to spin my cup around so I don't get the lacing, because it drives me crazy when I'm drinking and trying to look at things through my glass. But I do tend to do that. But the lacing on this is very nice. Man. What's it supposed to be? What's it like? We went through those things. Is there a beer that this reminds me of? The Leinenkugel pumpkin shandy, sort of. Mostly just because that one tastes like pumpkin pie. I don't know if you guys have ever had it, but that one tastes like a pumpkin pie, and it's kind of impressive because that one is a little bit dark. I mean, it's lighter in color, but also it is light because it's only like 5%, and a little bit fruity because pumpkin is technically a fruit. Technically, you know, like a tomato is a fruit, like that kind of. I don't know. It's real good. Is there a story that this reminds me of? Bananas. I may have told you this before. I knew a guy in college. He was a trumpet player. His name was Ben. They called him Bananas because his last name was Ennis. So his name was Bananas. So, you know, bananas. I had a friend that was going to get us a fifth because we collected empty bottles. So he was going to get a fifth with 99 bananas. So it would pretty much just be a small picture of bananas in like 99 of them in a fifth of whatever you could find that was super empty. Which would have been really super funny if he would have followed through. And I got the joke, and he thought that since I got the joke so very quickly that it was not as funny as I thought it was. Of course, I did think it was funny. But yeah, so that's the banana story that I've got. I mean, there are several other banana stories because he was a trumpet player, marched with us. Not a super big guy, but really super smart. A good guy to know. Works for down in Detroit right now. CompuWare, I think, at one point in time, at least. Cool guy. I like that guy. For sure. Brother. Yeah. I mean, because, you know, he's in my fraternity. But also, good guy. I like that dude. Is there anything else this reminds me of? I'd like to be able to say that, oh yeah, we have sweet potato souffle all the time. We do not. Sweet potatoes are nice. I like them. Sweet potato fries, even better. This beer is pretty good though. It's sweet and light, even though it is super heavy. The mouthfeel is actually a lot lighter than what I was expecting with the lactose and the sweet potato, for that matter. Usually that stuff makes it like kind of punch you in the face, but this is good. I'd almost expect to have marshmallows in it, which would be even weirder with the gelatin from the marshmallows because marshmallows are made with gelatin, not vegan in general, but sometimes because you can do that same kind of stuff with cornstarch, I think. All right. So anyway, I've got a quote for you today. This one is from Colin Powell, one of a few Republican politicians that I actually respect. There are many right now that I do not, but there are some still that I do. So anyway, he said, "Always do your very best, even when no one else is looking. You always are. Don't disappoint yourself." And I can respect that because you don't want to disappoint yourself. It makes you feel bad, and that's not cool. I think someplace around in my house or my parents' house, I have a signed picture of Colin Powell because when I was an Eagle Scout, you could send out for, actually, I think you still can, meaning like, hey, I just got my Eagle Scout. Would you sign a picture for me? I got one from like Colin Powell, Bill Clinton, the Pope. Who else? What's his name? NRA guy. Charlton Heston. That's the guy. There were a few other ones in there too that were pretty cool, like John Glenn. Probably it would have been really cool to get one from Buzz Aldrin because apparently my brother-in-law's father grew up like just around Buzz Aldrin because his dad was a scientist at NASA, which is really super cool. Anyway, we're coming pretty close to the end here, hopefully. I don't want to have to redo all this stuff because it takes me a while to drink the heavy ones. You can find me at TubaJake_69 at Untapped, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Tell me your stories. I like to hear them. I like to tell them. I might tell them if you don't want me to. If you don't want me to, definitely tell me that you don't want me to. I'll use your name then too. But yeah, I'll catch you next time when you got time for a beer.